that is okay with you. So good evening, and maybe we can just say this is very informal. Typically, we start with a little introduction. You can share whatever, few lines about you, your child, what do you think about learning and whatever education, and which city are you from, and then we can. Then I'll make a small. I'll share a small presentation, which will take about 5-7 minutes. And then then the rest of the time we'll just kind of chit chat. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Who wants to start?
We can start. So I'm Abhishek and this is my wife, Anita.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Anita.
And we have
two Anitas today.
Yeah, actually, when I saw Anita, I was like, did you also log in? Because
what a coincidence. Among four of us, two names common.
So we have a 11-year-old son who is going through a change in life behavior is what I would say. I don't know, it's something to do with the age or with the time that we are dealing with all these lockdowns and online classes and everything else. He's in general a pretty loving child and all, but he's been possessed by games, as I would say, online games and everything else. So, but when he's off games, I think he's fine. He studies in a school called Greenwood High, which is supposed to be one of the good schools here in Bangalore, but we are missing that connect to life in the education that has been imparted. It's more on the scores, the academics, the general course, and everything else.
Sure.
So that's what we are here for, because we heard from a few of our friends who visit your center pretty frequently as well, Tejas and Prachi, who are twins. So they recommended us to speak with you all and see the various levels of engagement which we can have with you.
Sure. So, anybody else? Anita, you want to share, as in both the Anitas?
Yeah, nice to meet you, sir. I spoke to you around 1.5 months back when I was in Chennai. So right now I'm calling from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. So almost, Mr. Abhishek, he spoke what was there in my mind too. I have a daughter and she's also almost that age only. She'll be hitting 12 by next month. So something similar to what Mr. and Mrs. Abhishek have been, saying. So, it's going beyond, like, I don't know how to put in words the kind of frustration, it builds up in home. So I don't know. I was, I was wondering, because usually right now at this age, I'm happening to hear from the girls' parents quite frequently. Girls, they attain puberty at this age, and so they are going through a phase right now. And the past around 6 to 7 months has been really chaotic. And so the reflection and the marks, and it's not only that, the kind of attitude, towards the studies. And actually she doesn't care whether I'm going to get it, whether I'm going to score, doesn't matter. Sometimes she is doing kind of the pressure that we have, we are also building in. I'm not liking, I just let her loose. But then, there is a thing that she needs to agree with that. We let her play, we let her have fun. But unfortunately, going outside playing and everything has been, it has become a history these days. So, yeah, online games only she plays with her cousins and watching the YouTube videos. But there is never an end. There is never a period to that, sir. It's like 24 hours 7, it has to be available. Sometimes to the extent that, we have caught her redundant that this class will be going on simultaneously, the other things she might be watching. And this I happen to hear from many parents also. That's when it started to worry us. like, where all these things are going. We don't know when the actual schools are going to reopen, even if so it is safe to send the, kids at this point of time. We don't know. So we
Sure,
might
sure.
relocate. So I'm like, wherever you go, so definitely you will be assessed on your basic skills, English, maths, and maths especially is like, oh my God, I don't know how she is able to relate to that subject. She just sees stars and she doesn't worry about that, or probably she's worrying inside. At least she doesn't reveal it outside. Um, so whenever the timetable comes, it's like, oh my God, it's there. The whole family, the environment, it's on, lit on fire that time. Until it's over, even it is for us, okay, the last exam comes, I feel that, I am done with my exam. That's the kind of parents are going through, which I am really not liking. It's the happiness for the family and for the kid as it. So where all these things are leading to, it is actually disturbing me. So that's when I got your reference from one of my friends. He's from Jamshedpur. So how we connected is like, I am a hypnotherapist now. So basically my field is from engineering. I'm a food technologist and then I have a HR background. So nowhere I'm connected to a different stream now. So we getting into that side of the world, or knowing about how the theory of mind for a human it works. So what are the, like, where once I got into that only, I realized that what kind of damage has been done to me. It's not that intentionally people have done,
Sure,
but
sure,
for
sure,
awareness, whatever the best they could, yes, they have done. But then what is done to me is done. So for
sure,
me to
sure,
unlearn and for myself to heal from the kind of damages that I have caused itself is like a big. So what is at the end of the day? Where are we all running? What is the ultimate that we want in our life? These questions all started coming inside me. And so lucky to see, Mr. and Abhishek together there. My husband is a completely, logical brain man. So for me to sell this concept itself, I need to take time. So for which, sir, I have to really get that, the content
sure,
in my head for me
sure.
to share that, how it's going to be helpful for our daughter. So when I'm going, also I just told, where I'm going now. I'm going to check out a new school for you. Then she said, "Thank you, ma. Why are you thanking me?" Then she
Sure,
told,
sure.
no, no, I would like to come out of this school. Why? Because if she would have attended the class, immediately an assignment will be popping out. So next
Yeah,
class she will attend and immediately an assignment. So the to-do list will be like the tuck, 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 tuck. It will be, or seven will be there to show. Then we will be hurrying up. Say the due date is on. Come on, come on, come on. Where are we running? I'm not liking to do this, sir. But even I don't know. Oh no, I don't have an option.
sure, sure.
So
Let's talk
I'm
about
also pushed
what
to
could be
do
some
that.
of the options. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm really
Let me.
looking forward. I don't know what magic you're going to tell, but I'm
No, no,
keeping my.
no magic at all. Let's welcome Yogeshwari and Viji also. Hi, Yogeshwari. We were just introducing ourselves. Abhishek and Anita are there, and Anita, another Anita. So they have introduced. Would you like to share about yourself, just in few lines? If you can come on video, then we can have a visual connect also. And after that, Viji. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Yogeshwari. Yeah.
I'm Yogeshwari. I'm from E Road.
Mhm.
I'm a mother of two beautiful kids. And my daughter, she's studying grade seventh, and my son is 15 months old.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
very recently, I heard about homeschooling, open learning. So everything was pondering over my mind. And even myself as a child, I was not happy with my schooling. Somewhere I feel uh, what I learned has no connection with my life.
Hmm.
Most probably when it comes to academic. So I was in search of finding something which gives connection between what I learn and the one which I am expecting for a bridge that gives connection between the life and the academics. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard about this Jagriti term very often. So I googled and I found out this thing, and I'm here before you right
Great,
now.
great. Welcome, welcome. Dwiji, you want to quickly share a few lines about yourself? Dwiji is a parent and family part of Arohi.
Hi, thank you, Ratnesh. Hi, everyone. My name is Dviji. Sorry, I'm not in a position to turn on the video yet. I live in Bangalore. I have a 11-year-old daughter, and we have been part of the Arohi community for about 3 years now, and or more. I don't remember exactly, but anyway. And Yeah, I've been an open learner way longer than my daughter has been around, but as in a self-directed learner. And so it was very happy that I've found Arohi and have been active in the community trying to do things. And yeah, look forward to the discussion and to share our experiences and add to more confusion or seed more questions in your mind and hopefully answer some as well. Yeah, look forward to the discussion.
Thanks, Dwiji. Okay, very quickly about myself. I'm Ratnesh, and I have two children. My daughter is 20, almost 23 now. Not almost, she is 23 now. And my son's 16, and both have been open learners. In fact, my daughter has not given any 10, 12, so she is in the eyes of the world uneducated. Because she's not given it, she does not have any certificate at all in her life, and she's 23 years old, and she's doing a whole lot of different things, and she's thoroughly enjoying her life. And we have been enjoying her journey all these many years. My son is little opposite to my daughter. He has also never gone ever to a school, but he is like single focus. So while my daughter is into many things at the same time, my son is only one thing, and that's football, and football. 24/7 only football, and he dreams to become a professional footballer. Well, whether he does or not, he's into it totally 7 days a week. There is nothing else in his life. Right. So that is my introduction. And obviously, I've been part of Arohi since the beginning of Arohi, which was in 2008. So that's been quite a journey. We've worked and been with so many wonderful families and so many amazing children. I've thoroughly enjoyed my last almost 20 years with different children, and it's been a great journey. So as Vijay was mentioning, we'll possibly share some of our experiences, hopefully add more to your confusion, more questions to your minds, and let's see how the discussion pans out. So what I would do is I'll make a quick 5-7 minute quick journey of ours, or rather introduction to open learning first, and a little bit about Arohi at the end, and then we can take it more of a discussion and chit-chatting. Right. So before we even go on to talking about open learning, a lot of names exists in this world. Some people call it open learning, some people do homeschooling, some people do free schooling, unschooling, home education, free education, world education. There's so many terms. So what I really want to say is forget all the terms. What really it means is that on one side you have a very curriculum driven, school-driven kind of a structure, which is the conventional education, where the child doesn't really have much choice. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have completely no structure, no curriculum. The child is driving his or her own life, which is what we call as open learning, or some of the people call it unschooling or free schooling. But primarily, the whole approach of open learning is that you can be anywhere. Right? Just look at life as lots and lots of choices, rather than looking at it as one system or another system. Rather than that, look at it as a continuum. When you want, you go towards more structure. When you want, you move away from structure. it really is dependent on your needs and your ways. Just to give you an example, my son till almost, I think till he was 14 years, was completely unstructured, totally open. Then when he started going into football deeper, he wanted a structure not of school, but of football. He wanted a club. He wanted coaches to guide him, mentor him. He wanted that kind of a place where, you go up to the coach and say, yes, sir, what should I do, sir? Which side am I playing, sir? And things like that. So last 2 years have been in that sense structured for him, as in his club and his coaches decide how and when he plays and what he does in his various games. So that's just to give you an idea. So a child can be at any point move on this continuum. That's how we look at it. And that to us is open learning. So open learning is not about only hugging one point of the continuum. As the child flows, so does the form of, let's say, learning. Yeah. So that's just to set that perspective, right? Also, so we started off many years back with this very simple question as to what is the purpose of education. And initially, when we looked outside, looked like that most people are doing education only to end up with a job or a career. So the earning part of even the learning was more, the whole thing was designed in that way. At least that's how it appears to us, that the whole thing is designed for earning. While for us, that sounds very boring. What sounds more exciting is that the purpose of education is to live. In fact, we go to the extent of saying that learning and living is synonymous. Okay. So if that is so, then learning, living, education, all should be synonyms, which to us is. And if that is the case, then the child simply leads his or her life. And when you're leading your life, you will learn what you want to learn, and you will learn how you want to learn, when you want to learn, and so on. So the child becomes the default leader of himself and herself, which actually makes sense, which you automatically see in the toddler years. When the child is 1 year old, the child is all the time deciding what I want to play with, when I want to sleep, when I want to eat. Child is a complete leader and we are just followers. This is behind the child, whatever he wants or she wants, we keep providing. And then somewhere that switch happens, maybe at 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we put the child to a conventional education and we say, no, you can't decide, somebody else will decide everything for you. So that's so the whole idea is based on these the leadership, and which automatically leads to 4 simple propositions. The first one is we don't need to bind the child to any one curriculum. Let the child decide and create his or her own curriculum, or create his or own design of his own life. So that's the first proposition. The second one is connected to the first one. Not just the child decides what to learn, but the child can also decide how to learn. Do I need a teacher? Will I use YouTube? Will I just go out and do it? Will I play around with it? I'll figure it out as I go along. At different points, the child may choose different things. Like I was telling you about my son, who at some point decided I need a coach, right? So that's the second proposition. The third one, which is kind of connected with the first two very strongly, is if I'm going to decide what I want to learn, if I'm going to decide how I want to learn, then let me at least also decide, am I learning good enough? Am I learning what I want, how I want? Is it happening? So I do a lot of self-assessment and self-reflection, and I also actively look for feedback. Yeah, so that's the third thing. So we don't need an external examination test or somebody else to tell me whether I'm doing good or not good. And finally, if these 3 are put together, then schools, colleges, degrees just become options. They are not then mandatory. One doesn't have to, let's say, give 10, 12, have to go to college or have to go to school. One can have many other options like self-learning or apprenticeships or open courses, or going or finding what one wants and doing only that. Yeah. So that is broadly what we call as open learning. Let me play a very small video, just a 1 minute long video of some children of Arohi just sharing how they look at, actually they don't look at it as learning or life, they just look at it as now, right? That's very typical of children. They live in now, they don't live in, whatever, a lot of big plans. So let's watch what these children are sharing. The video is obviously also made by one of the children.
Connecting with people is amazing.
I like chit-chatting with my friends while eating.
An opportunity to take all the guests around the tour, around the campus.
Currently, I'm working on improving myself so I can play in a club next year.
I get resources and support to fulfill my passion for sketching.
I sketch many things of animals, birds.
In Arohi, I am a guest and I can find my space here, pursuing my interest on upcycling.
I drum to express my emotion and it makes me feel lighter.
In bird watching, I learn a lot of things. What is color of bird, and
I like the time when I spend with the community playing sports.
I spend time doing projects related to cinematography and video editing.
I like organizing trips in Arohi, kyunki your opportunity is to organize trips.
video making is awesome. It's productive and you get an awesome outcome.
I like to do electrical work. I've put many.
I connect with the planning here, gives me clarity.
I like playing with the cats. I learn crochet and teach others crochet.
எனக்கு சமைக்கிறதுக்கு இங்க ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும்.
All the resources here are new to me to explore.
Right. So obviously this video was made based on the question, hey, what do you like doing here? Right. And different children express this. So yeah, that's a brief introduction to open learning. I'll have a quick few words about Arohi, because Arohi takes the concept of open learning and it puts to the whole concept of open learning is just not left to open learning. It also is important that a whole lot of families come together and we form our own community or a village. And then different children, different adults, everybody is learning actually. So it's a community of learners of all ages, whether they're children, adults, grandparents, it just doesn't matter. And when that happens, when a lot of families come together, a lot of children come together, a lot of everybody comes together, then there are a lot of connections. Different people connect based on their interests. There's a lot of collaboration. People get together and do a lot of different things, which is actually a lot of fun. There's also a lot of coaching, mentoring that goes on, not necessarily only adult to child, child to child, child to adult. I've learned so many things from so many children. And the whole idea then becomes of co-living, co-learning, co-creating our lives with support of each other. So that's what Arohi is on top of the open learning concept of community of families. So typically children don't join Arohi, families join Arohi. Yeah. And everybody kinds of pitches in many, many different ways because everybody is learning. Yeah. So in terms of format, Arohi works in two ways. One is obviously there is a campus, which is located near Hosur in Tamil Nadu, but close to Bangalore, about 60 kilometers from Bangalore, but it's in a village. So the campus is right now open, both to guests as well as children who want to come here, or families who want to come here regularly. Yeah. Some children stay here by themselves. Some children stay here by parents. Children come and go as they want. Sometimes they come alternate weeks, 1 week coming, not coming another week. All permutation combinations is fine. It's very open. You come when you want, you go when you want. It's as open word can be. At the same time, we also are an online community where lots of families who cannot physically come here, not just because of COVID, just because they are living in different parts of the country and they can't physically be traveling all the time. So they just connect, we just connect through online platforms. We have a combination of social media platforms as well as Zoom and other stuff. And we do a lot of different things together. We have lots of interest-based stuff going on, everything driven by whoever wants to do whatever. Yeah, so that's the quick introduction to the Arohi community. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Dwiji, you want to quickly share about the theme? So every Saturday we keep a theme and Dwiji is the one who decides the themes. So Dwiji, you want to talk about the theme, and then we can also welcome, I see Deepa and Trippy have also joined. and we can switch off the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can let the slide be, I would say. Yeah, thank you, Ratnesh. Yeah, I'm, what shall I say? So today's theme is about rivers and how rivers don't always flow by themselves. Rather, there are a lot of streams that come together to form a river, and sometimes they fork out and then come back, join again. But what we always see is that it's flowing. And yeah, you might have observed this word when Ratnesh was talking about open learning as well, that it's not just about being in one place and doing one thing, but rather moving and reflecting on where we are, how we do, and moving on. And sometimes in the same direction, sometimes changing directions and so on. So the idea of looking at connections and flow is that life is such. It's not just about education, but we live life that way, where we learn something, we pursue it for some time, and then sometimes we have to change. Sometimes we are at it throughout our life. So similarly, should open learning be that we don't just do things because somebody else is asking us to do it, but rather because we feel the need to do it, and that we felt is the best way of looking at life and learning, that we do things because we just want to do it. And how do we encourage that nature of exploration, that nature of looking at things not just separated from each other, but rather how they connect with each other, and how we can grow in such a world. And that was the idea of the theme, but we don't have to stick to just connections and and growth. It can be anything about open learning that you would like to share. And surely anything with regard to the theme, I will be more happy, but it doesn't have to be that way. Thank
Super.
you.
Thank you, Dwiji. And I want to stop the presentation there. And yeah, so Tripti and Deepa have also joined. If more people can on the videos, now we are in the whatever discussion part of the meetup, where we started with that. We started with introduction of Abhishek, Anita, Dwiji. So you can also, Tripti and Deepa, you can also share very quickly your introduction and what brings you here. And we can then have more question and answers.
Hi, shall I go?
Please.
Yes, I'm Deepa, and I have a 5.5-year-old. I think for a 5.5-year-old, there is no concept of homeschooling, but I've been asked from when he was 2 years old whether he's already in a school or not. So yes, I am homeschooling my son. He's still 5.5, and we are still at home. I've heard about Arohi from quite a few people, and one of the volunteers there had recommended these Saturday sessions. And so, yes, I thought I will come here. But there's one thought, like from whatever I heard you speaking, I have... So I was wondering, yes, I completely agree. Children have the ability to make decisions. But one thought is, do they always make a decision that they know they will enjoy? For example, today, I joined a little late because I was on a walk with my son. And the walk was actually, it was a challenge getting him to go for the walk. There was resistance. He just wanted to play cricket. But the weather is lovely, and I felt he would enjoy the walk. And this resistance was there until we stepped out of the gate. After that, he was like enjoying the entire experience. We took an hour-long walk, everything. But until that point that we stepped out of the gate, there was a lot of push that I gave. So I feel he might have missed out on the experience of a walk without that push. So how would you explain that in terms of he's able to make the decision and
Sure,
anybody?
we'll talk about that. Let's also hear Trippys' introduction, and then we'll start with your thought.
So hi, I'm Tripti, and I'm from Bangalore. And I heard about Arohi around 2 years back, and this whole concept of self-directed learning. While my children are very old, my older child is 22, who's just finished education, and he's just started working, and my younger one is in grade 12. But I've always been attracted to this kind of learning. And I also want my daughter to now, even if she's in 12th, and I saw what exams and what the whole hour of exams when she was in grade 10th. And then pandemic happened and everything just went flat. And in a way, I felt it's just this created by a monstrous element created by the society. Now while I didn't know much about Arohi till that time, I just heard about it. So now I'm in a space that I want her to decide where she wants, what is the path that she wants to take, that she wants to, and I think university education and all that, I want her to feel free about and being able to decide that. Because as a child, I felt that had I been in a more open space, I would have been deciding things differently. But now I feel, yes, now I make choices. So the ability to make a choice for a child is very, very important. And when is it that we are giving them that choice? Since as you said, that in the beginning years, till 2.5, 3 years, the child is able to make a choice and we are around the child. Once they grow older, it is we who make the choice. And then I've also seen after grade 12, you suddenly say, now you make a choice of your career. And the child is saying, what choice? What do you mean by making a choice? What do you mean by taking a risk? So all these questions, I've been pondering over these questions for myself, for the children, and I've been into education for quite some time. And the little that I want in even the sessions that I take, I feel that I should help them make a choice. However, after that also, I felt that I am leading it. So I don't know how to really, there is a lot of unlearning that I need to do to help them make those choices. So this is where I saw the presentation. I saw a bit of the presentation because I joined in late. One of the things is that, yes, if they have the ability to make that choice, and it starts from there, I think that would be, so I really want to explore this space.
Sure.
That's that's the answer that I'm looking at.
Great. Okay. Viji's video is on. If you could have more videos on, if it is okay with you, then that just feels better to talk to faces rather than. So that would be nice if some of you can on the videos. So we have to start with Deepa's question. That's what I promised. And to me, Deepa, the way you were talking about it, it connects directly with Viji's theme. I almost saw his river meeting your river. And I was wondering, do we allow our river to meet his river? Does it happen? He comes and says, let's watch Tom and Jerry. And you say, no, I've got to sort the laundry, or I've got to read this book. And we are not interested in their Tom and Jerry. And as much as we want them to be interested in our walks. So yeah, I think that's the beauty of life. We will, when somebody is pulling me, I might resist, and that's all right. And sometimes I may even win and not join you. And sometimes similarly, you may join, and or sometimes you may not join. I guess as Vijay mentioned, that's just life. Different rivers flow in very different way. They meet, they diverge, they meet, they diverge, and they go on, right? And each one has a very unique flow. So to expect that our children should immediately meet our river when we want them to, or the other way around, is impractical, and that's not what life is. So I would say enjoy whenever he comes, enjoy whenever he doesn't come. That's the way I look at it. Let the rivers flow.
And I hope you don't wait for him and lose the opportunity to enjoy the walk yourself.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Yes. I should learn not to do that.
Yes. See, the interesting things to learn from children is when we don't join for the Tom and Jerry, they just forget it. They get totally into it. When they don't join our walk, we keep thinking along the walk, why didn't he join? Why doesn't he listen to me? I need to talk to somebody about this. You see the problem? So they are enjoying their river, but we tend to be more thinking about it. So that's something to learn from them. And yeah, they will keep on teaching us all the time. So I hope that's some kind of a response to whatever you were sharing.
Yes.
And that is
yes,
what open learning.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, I think sometimes you win, sometimes I win, sometimes both of us win. I think we should accept that. True.
Yeah.
Thank you very
so
much.
So this whole discussion is very much led by whoever wants to ask a question or throw in a point, and everybody just joins in. So please feel free, ask questions, either based on whatever we have shared till now or whatever you are thinking right now. Absolutely fine.
I think I'll just have a quick question just to
sure.
my mind out. So what is Arohi? Arohi is a set of thoughts coming together, or is it a community of people helping all of each other towards a certain direction? What exactly is Arohi?
Okay, so it's more similar to your second answer, as in it is a community. It's a community where we all come together, but not channelizing anybody's thoughts in any direction. In fact, giving each other the space for each other's thought to grow in whichever direction they want to flow, just like the rivers, each river flowing in their own way. So each child, each adult is flowing in their own way, and each one of us is supporting, collaborating, connecting, wherever, whatever required, however required. So it's like, just imagine a group of people together and each one doing what they feel like doing, yet everybody is together. So there is a lot of dynamics, but there is also each one leading themselves. Yeah. So if that is, yeah. So it's still very much an open learning, which means each one deciding what they want to do with their life, whether they are whatever 12 standard old, or whether they are 11 years old, or whether they are 5 years old. Age doesn't matter, or whether they are 53-year-old like me, or I don't know Dwiji's age, whatever. Dwiji's age, Dwiji's. We are all open learners. We're just learning all the time, doing different things. It is just very, very flowing. All of us are flowing in different ways, but together.
And how do we all communicate? Is it a platform, or when we meet together? What are different means that we
Right.
connect?
So I'd mentioned we operate in two ways. The community operates two ways. One is in the campus. So obviously, if you are in the campus, you are there together. We are there together. It's a big campus. We live together, which means physically we live together. We have a space where we all sleep. We have a space where we all eat, and we do everything together. We clean toilets together. We cook together, eat together, play together, and we do a lot of other things. Within that, a lot of time there for each one to pursue what each one pursues. So at a given time, somebody could be playing football or basketball, somebody could be stitching, somebody could be painting, some few people could be making a fire on a new stuff that they have designed, and somebody else could be digging pits for something, somebody could be, so each one is doing something totally different. Okay, in very much the same way, in exactly the same way, we also are an online community where we all come together, where different peoples are doing different things together. Some are getting together and let's say sing, some are getting together and play a game, some are getting together and let's say exploring astronomy, some are getting together and making a radio show, some are writing a book together, some are, it's just based on different interests. Obviously, the online one has a platform, as you very rightly mentioned, as a platform. We use Discord as a platform, if you are familiar with Discord. So we use Discord as a platform for all of us to get together and share who's doing what and what time we are meeting and so on and so forth. But it is not regulated or driven by any one person. The whole community drives the whole thing. But in the campus, we don't really need the platform. The physical campus becomes the platform by itself. So that's how the two spaces work. And both these spaces merge. Even the children at the campus also interact with the other people online. So they are as much online as they are offline. Just imagine whether they are at home or at campus, whenever they want to connect with their other friends or other people of similar interest online, they go online at campus. So it's all, so you can say campus is a subset of the larger community, which is obviously online.
You said they can come whenever they want and, they can go back and stuff. So like, how does that work?
That was exactly as you said. Anybody comes here whenever you want, you go back. It's open. It's open, meaning why should there be a boundary? Only you can come at this time and only you can go at this time. Only you can do this. Why should there be a concept called attendance? Life is not about attendance. The day I'm alive, I'm attending my life, right? So every day I'm attending to my life. That's it. So wherever I am, I'm an open learner, whether I'm at home, whether I'm in train traveling to my grandparents' house, whether I'm visiting a place, or whether I'm in Arohi campus, whether I'm doing an online discussion with you all right now. I'm an open learner. I'm learning from you all. I can be learning with anybody. I can just be doing something all by myself. So space, time, direction, location, nothing is a determinant of what I want to do in my life. I am the one who leads my life with all its pitfalls, all its failures, all its ups and downs. And that's part of the journey. That is the beauty of a journey. Let's just like the river, right, Duji?
I just wanted to ask, suppose if there are, I was just thinking about a couple of children whom I think are more inclined to a community. They want to be self-directed. But if they're associated to school, is there a possibility that they are also a part of Arohi community? Or can they, so I know somebody who, she just flashed a particular girl.
Yeah, the only issue, Tripti, is that when you are part of a regular school or a college, it just takes away so much of your time. Then where would you have time to really connect with the community and do what you feel like doing? Because there will be classes, there will be homeworks, projects, exams, tests, and stuff like that. I would say then that just is trying to be in too many places at the same time. I would rather say if one has chosen a school only as a way to go ahead, then just focus on that and give that your 100%. But if somebody has chosen open learning as their way of life, then enjoy open learning. Within that, within open learning, there's always a possibility that I can attend a workshop, attend a course, or even go to a school for a year or half a year or 4 years and then come back. There's a child who was open learning till about 7 years. Then she went to school because she just wanted to experience school. She experienced school for about a year and few months. And now she's back to open learning. So you can, in open learning, there is nothing like decided that you have to only do, unstructured learning. No. If you want structure, go ahead. Embrace structure for as long as you want to. So I know of open learners who have not given any 10, 12 college, but I know also of open learners who at certain point felt that they want to go to a particular college or particular kind of college. So they've gone to a particular kind of college. So all of those combination is really dependent on the child and the family and what exactly the child is and the family is looking for. So there's no one answer in that sense.
Ratnesh, why families and not just children? What advantage does a child get with various families getting together?
Well, then if Deepa doesn't come and only Deepa's son comes, then the children don't get to meet Deepa. Isn't that a loss? Big loss. As far as I know, it's a big loss. Why should
No.
children only meet children and work only with children? Why can't they work with anybody? Anybody means anybody, not just parents. I would say anybody on the street, anybody in this country, anybody in this world. And even if aliens come, why not learn from aliens too? So in open learning, the people are an amazing resource. And we say everybody in this world is yours. Go ahead and ask. And you won't believe it. There are so many examples I have where we have asked people, will you teach me or will you guide me because I'm interested in whatever you know? And in my at least 21 years of experience, not even one person has said, no, I will not guide you. Not even one person. Everybody is so forthcoming to guide and help and support. I'm just amazed. Right? So right from our person who supplies milk to our campus to person who does something in a scientific lab. Last week we had somebody who is a snake venom extractor, and we told him, wow, you extract venom out of snakes? We want to meet you. And immediately he agreed. He was with us, with the whole community. He shared everything that he does, and it was so exciting. We had all hundreds of questions for him. And at least at the end, he had to say, Abhi mere ko jana hai, enough. I can't answer more of your questions. I'll come again. So you see, that's the beauty of the world around us.
So do we expect parents to contribute in terms of time, resource, or the
well, let's not put it as expect or not expect. Let us understand that the whole idea of open learning is based on that everybody's thinking, trying, exploring. Everybody is a learner. If we only think that the child has to be, sent there to learn kind of thing, then it kind of doesn't work, right? It kind of, then I would as well send him to a school, right? So yes, there is a joy in that, though the child's interest could be different and you could be learning something different. And that's also very beautiful. Two people could be doing totally, completely different things, yet when they are together or connected, can just, let's say, inspire each other, if nothing else. Or what is also called as collateral learning. I may learn a little bit of what you are doing just because you are with me. Yeah, so that's the beauty. And that is why we just don't want Deepa's child, but Deepa also, because there is so much that can rub off from you to others and from others to you.
And not just Deepa, I mean, anybody else who,
yes.
Who is in Deepa's world. We want Deepa's world and everybody we can get. So, yeah.
Yes. I think Anita
and it's not just...
Yeah, go ahead. I think Anita wants to ask something, but I think you finished, then we'll go.
Yeah. So, Deepa, it's not just about...
Dwiji, I lost your voice.
Hello. No?
Yeah, can hear you now. Carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So I was just saying, Deepa, that it's not just about whether the parents should or should not be involved. It's when we would ask that the parents involve themselves and share their time with not just their own kid, but with everyone in the community, and not just kids, like Ratnesh was saying. But it's also about understanding that, learning doesn't just happen through teacher to student. It happens a lot between individuals, the way we learn in life. And most of that happens because I want to learn something, right? So the idea of Arohi's version of open learning is that we learn in a community. It's not just that the child is coming there to learn, but all of us are there to learn, whether we are a parent or a child or just a friend or, like Ratnesh was saying, supplying milk to the community, to the campus. So, yeah, I mean, do we expect that parents would involve themselves? Yes, we would expect that the parents would involve themselves, but not as a, as a rule, but rather as a love.
As a joy, yes, love, joy.
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
you should see the joy on everybody's face when somebody comes in. We are all like so crazy for people. And everybody is a joy to meet. As I said, anybody means anybody. Yes.
Shall I ask you?
Please, Yogeshwari. Yeah.
Uh,
And
okay.
Anita.
I
Yeah.
saw in your calendar that we can visit on weekly days. And in this month end, you have a family
week.
visit.
Yes.
Family week. So what makes a difference? So which would be the best time for me? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so the difference between a family week and other weeks is that a family week is typically where we are trying to get more families to come together. So just imagine that on a family week, all of the families present right now in the call, we all are here, all our children and we all are here. It will be that much more fun. Because so many more people to interact, talk about, share. We can learn from Deepa what Deepa is doing with his son. We can learn from Anita what she's doing with her daughter, and we can learn from her daughter also, and so on and so forth. So the whole idea of a family week is more families coming together. In the other weeks, you may not have other families coming in, but you would have the regular Arohi children and Arohi families, some of the parents around and things like that. So that's the only slight difference. It's just the sheer number of people will be more in family week.
So,
right? But if family week is not suiting your calendar, then you can come any week. Okay, but if you feel like that, I wish there are more families so that I can interact and learn from other families also, then just target family week. Definitely recommend it that way. So that's like a just tagged as family week so that more families land up at the same time. And we just end up having more fun.
But is it safe this time? Because pre-COVID is different, but right now, is it advisable to
Yeah,
meet?
so we still limit the number of families. It's not like too many. So we still keep a tab on the numbers. But yes, see, finally, yeah, meaning we all know this situation. So to that extent, we know we are exposing ourselves. So that's again something that we walk you through, we discuss with you. Each family who is coming, you have asked the procedure also. And we understands how we are looking at safety and takes responsibility of not just yourself, you take responsibility of others. So even if you have 1% doubt whether I may be infecting others, then you don't come. And that's an expectation from everybody. If everybody takes care that way, then chances are we can still never be sure. We just have to be careful as best as we can.
I wish to meet you soon.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Yogeshwari, actually, I'm a little disappointed with Ratnesh. The best time to come is when you want to come. just communicate that you're coming. Go through the website. There's a form, and we have a small orientation so that you know what safety measures we are taking, and you know how the campus works and stuff like that. Once you're introduced, visit.
Don't worry about family week.
Yeah. I mean, family week will be fun. It's no doubt about that. But don't wait for the family week if you feel like visiting.
Yeah, like I think Trippy is decided to come next week, so she isn't waiting for family week. So thanks, Viji, for adding that. Yeah, Anita, you wanted to ask something. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. So
you don't call me sir or anything. I'm Ratnesh. Just call me Ratnesh.
Okay, I think I may take a little time.
Sure. Children call me Rat, so you can even call me Rat.
So sweet. So as I was telling you, my daughter, she's in about B12.
12.
So
Yeah.
now that if we want her to be a part of Arohi, so what's the procedure? Now that you told different kids, the video that you showed also, each kid seemed to be having different areas of interest. What if the kid is not sure of what they actually like? If I'm going to ask me, all she's going to tell is gaming and videos and things like that way. So when they are not really sure about that, sir, so all these years, like we are so much tuned to these academic subjects, like social studies and maths and things like that way. So how it is actually done in Arohi? Is it subject oriented, or how is that? Are there any grade system there, like grade 6, grade 7, or is it age category, or How is
Nothing,
it
none
done?
of these. Well, it
Okay.
starts off with a very simple question. So the first step for you is to, apart from attending this, is to come and visit the campus, right? And when you will come, not just your daughter, you will be asked this question. So Anita, what do you want to do? Now, Tripti, that's the question you can expect on Monday morning when you come, right? So that's the first question, and that's the question that gets repeated n number of times. What do you want to do? And now Anita has to decide. I'm not even talking about your daughter. Right now, we're talking about Anita. And Anita has to decide what she wants to do here when she comes here. So you will have to decide whether you want to fly an aeroplane, whether you want to do some gardening, whether you want to work with clay, whether you want to practice guitar, whether you want to watch stars in the night. What do you want to climb trees? I don't know. What would you like to do? All the options are available, all the options possible, right? You have to choose, and you may choose it because you like to do it. You may choose it because that's anyway your strength, or you may choose it because that's something new for you, or you may choose it because Yogeshwari is doing that thing and you want to do what she is doing. Or you can use it for any million. You can do anything for a million reasons, right? We don't ask you for what reason you want to do something. All we are interested in is what you want to do. And that journey starts. So slowly, everybody realizes, oh, so I live life which is lived a day at a time based on what I want to do, not based on anything that is prescribed, right? And that is the beauty of open learning. And that is how children and adults and anybody who is so tuned to others telling, now today this subject, now in this hour you have to study this or do that, slowly they get used to, okay, now I have to decide what I want to do in my life. And that is true for any age, whether, as I said, the Trippys daughter, who is now I think 17 or 16, 17, or your daughter who is 11, or a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old, that doesn't matter. The age doesn't matter.
Okay. So so now once they choose one particular area of interest, so they will be guided throughout only in that, or again, it depends on what and
Absolutely, it depends. In most cases, children don't need guidance, and that's the best part of it. In most cases, I'm completely jobless. I'm so jobless that my only job here is to bug children and adults and everybody. Just go and bug them, irritate them, ask them all kinds of complicated things, and that's part of my job. Or we may just be clicking photographs or doing things like that, and most importantly, observing each other, understanding them, understanding what they like doing, how they like doing, and so on. So you realize in most cases, the children don't need us. What they need really is us to be around, not necessarily telling them what to do or how to do or when to do or anything like that. Right? If we are around, then that's more than enough for them. At best, they may need a resource or something which they may not know where it is in the campus, but very soon the children learn exactly where what is kept. And we have also tried to create a campus where things are known, where everybody knows where what is, so then they can fetch it themselves. But really, in most cases, they don't need guidance. And typically, when they need guidance, they come knocking. They don't necessarily knock on my door. They could be knocking on another child or another adult or anybody, whomever they think would guide them. And
so
that's true not
English.
just for children. Let me finish. That's not just true for children. Even as an adult, when I need guidance, I don't really think, oh, I have to go to an adult only. I may go to a child and say, hey, can you help me with this? Or can you show me how to do this? And so on and so forth. So it's all very, if there are 20 people here, including children and adults, we say, for me, I have 19 facilitators. Because everybody can facilitate me. Yeah, go ahead. You had a question.
Yes, sir. So now these subjects are also there, sir, apart from whatever you're saying, or if suppose English or math, will they be studying that in a different way, or how is it?
That is if they want to. Let's say a child comes and says, I want to study maths. Okay, the first question will be, why? Why do you want to? What's your purpose? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to give an exam? Do you want to learn it because the other child is learning it? Or do you want to learn it because you want to build a career in, let's say, let's say programming, I don't know, where is the application, or engineering or something like that. So the first question will be asked, why you want to learn? And if the child says, okay, I want to learn it because I want to give 10th exam, then we'll say, go to a textbook, because then it makes sense, correct? But if the child says, I just want to learn maths for fun, we'll say, okay, let's have fun. Then we can play games around it. We can do all kinds of activities around it and so on. So it really depends on why the child wants to learn, in what way the child wants to learn, which tools the child wants to use, and so on. And in most cases, again, the child drives that, whether it's maths or whether it's embroidery. Embroidery is, believe me or not, as beautiful a subject as maths, and cricket is as beautiful a subject as embroidery and maths, and watching birds is an equally good subject. I don't know why we want to live in a world of 5 or 7 subjects. Why can't we live with million subjects?
So nice to hear such an insight from somebody, sir. We are so tuned to, if you're not good in maths, you will be so discounted. You are not fit to live in this world. That's the kind of a society we all are in. We are not able to, articulate your thoughts in, better English. Oh no, you've been coming from such a branded school, but you're not able to speak, communicate well. Whenever, these are in turn affecting us so badly deep inside, sir.
Yeah.
Even as an adult we grow, it is there lying inside. Probably we don't show it out as we grow as an adult, but I'm sure, a lot of us are going through this. So what next, sir? So if we want to, so what next should we be doing? That
Come
you
over.
told that we should be visiting the campus.
Yes, come over. As simple as that. That's the first
Okay.
offer I can give. Just come over, stay with us. We'll have a good time.
So now this academic year is going on. Anytime we can join.
We are in open learning. We don't have anything called academics, or we don't have anything called year. Every day is a new year. Every day is my birthday. Every day is party.
Oh, lovely. So there is no exams, assessments, and things like that.
No, not till the child wants. If the child says, come, please give me marks on this, okay, then you can decide you want to give marks to him or not. Or you may say, okay, you get this many marks, or you may say, you decide how many marks you want to give. But it is upon each learner to see. Like, I may make something and I may come to you and say, what do you think about it? And you will give me some feedback, right? So that's also an assessment, but that's more informal. And I am seeking, the learner or the doer is seeking the feedback, not like the other one is giving, just because somebody is supposedly superior. So yeah, in that sense, the classical exams, tests, no, nothing is there.
Okay. So now you were telling about online mode, sir.
Sorry, you've gone on mute, Anita.
They choose, how is that you will be planning, sir? Like some kids could be, bird watching, sports, or so how is that you do it, sir, on online platform?
Again, please realize, first of all, that it's not the child who is joining the community. It's always the family which is joining. So let's say your family is joining, so you are as much a part of the community as your child is. And then you and the child decides among the various things happening inside the community on an online platform, which ones you want to be part of. Your son may decide which one he wants to be part of, or your daughter will decide which one she wants to be part of. While and the other time, again, the child will decide what he or she wants to do, and you will decide what you want to do. So it's the same thing. It's not anything different. It just as in campus, we are all physically together. In an online, you are at home together as well as online together.
So in online platform, the parents must be always around, sir. Whenever not necessary, right?
There is no parent only. There is you and there is your child. You are two different individuals.
Right.
If you ask any Arohi child, okay, are there any parents here? They will say no. Are there any children here? They will say no. They are only people.
Nice.
Or learners or doers, whatever you want to call us.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. More
Ratnesh,
questions? Yes, Abhishek. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we meet only on weekdays, or we meet on weekends as well?
Weekdays, yeah.
Weekdays only.
In campus, yeah, it's only weekdays, Monday to Friday. The online platform is also including Saturdays.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'm just a little worried about the term Discord, because that's the term he uses to interact with all the other friends when it comes to gaming. So the moment
Yeah.
you said Discord, we were like, oh my God.
No, no,
Now
no.
you see, I
So
want to talk to
Discord
the
is
Arohi
popular.
people.
Yeah, Discord is popular among gamers, and which is why we are there, because for us, life is a wonderful game. Okay, just that it's just a platform. What for you use it, you can decide, right? You can use it for gaming, and you can use it for many other things. Finally, it's just a platform similar to, let's say, Microsoft Teams or Slack or so many other platforms. Yeah. It's closed, it's private, it's secure. All of that is not an issue.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have any instance where in your community there are small online gamers having a?
Oh yes, whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Passionately into gaming.
Yeah, that's what we are worried about.
So
Thanks,
okay,
Mr. Abhishek, for asking this question from my end also. Even I had this concern. Somewhere this should be there. It keeps my daughter also connected to
Vijay,
that
you
world.
want to respond to Abhishek
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
two
yeah,
Anitas?
Yeah. So Abhishek, Anita, just think back, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 years, depending on how old you are, to how your parents felt about, maybe the going online, or depending on where you're, what age you are, watching TV or listening to the radio if you step back further, So with new technology, we always have this hesitation of, oh, my child is going to get distracted, or that they won't be able to do things that we were able to do, which by itself is true. I don't think I did the things that my parents expected me to do or that they did in their own lives, right? Likewise, you can think of everybody around you, and you will realize that expectations are one thing, reality is another. And the idea of Arohi and open learning is that we allow the child, we encourage the child, we nurture the child's environment such that they make decisions on their own life, on their own time, what they would like to do. And that doesn't mean we take our hats off and say, hey, you do whatever you want. It just means that we let them do their decisions, and then we sit with them and reflect on the decisions that they have made and try to drive it in a way. I shouldn't say drive, but influence it in such a way that they are able to live their life better than we have lived our lives, right? Ultimately, that's what we as parents expect, that my child will be comfortable, that my child will be happy, maybe my child will be rich, right? But it's not that I want my child to be in my parents' generation, they might have thought, oh, I want my child to be an engineer or a doctor. Now a parent might feel, oh, I want my child to be a business tycoon, right? Your child may or may not become that, but beneath that desire is also that feeling that I want my child to be happy. So what we as community members of Arohi open learning community feel is that let's tap into that directly. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's give children the opportunity to decide. If today they would like to spend 16 hours of their daytime playing games, then we better recognize what's motivating them and try to see, okay, how can we move them in a direction where they're not just stuck on one thing, and they know the wide world that is there in front of them, and not just this particular thing. One. And two, you get into, I don't know about you, but I get stuck on videos, and I can't pull myself out of a browsing session for half an hour, 45 minutes at a time sometimes. And it has taken me a lot of effort. So when it has taken me a lot of effort at age 43, what do I expect the child who, and I have been exposed to it for about 10 years of my life, right? Maybe 20. But a child who's born into that technology, they will navigate those waters way better than we will. So in some sense, I have more confidence in my daughter's ability to pull herself out of YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that than I have on my own, because I'm so used to other things, and this is like I keep looking with my eyes wide open, and at some level, I think we all need to learn to live with these things and overcome them. And Arohi offers. I mean, my daughter's, she's also into devices and all that. There's no doubt about that. And she says, let me be over the weekend, enjoy my 2 hours of YouTube time. When I'm in Arohi, I barely get time to watch any videos. So as in, she's addicted to it. There's no doubt about that. But when on campus, she realizes that there are so many more things to do. And yeah, I mean, it's a lesson that we are all learning, not just our children. We are all learning how to live with technology and gadgets and, advertisements and what do you call that? Binge buying and stuff like that, right? So yeah, it is a learning experience. And many a time, these kids can teach us a lot about how to manage. So she showed me some settings that will help me in reducing my addiction levels, and that discussion has actually helped her in dealing with her own thing. So yeah, that's my take on technology.
I Abhishek, just to add, not add actually, I just want to reinforce it's beautiful the way Vichi has put it, at least for me, I'm learning, is that instead of worrying about them, because the worry perspective or the worry head is not a good head to have around. Would you like me to be in your house and I'm totally worried? No. You would like somebody who's at peace. That we connect with people like that. So if I am ready to join him or her, I'm just using him or her, Anita, for that purpose. So if I can join let's say the addicted person, whether it's a child or an adult, doesn't matter, in understanding, exploring what these devices do to us, what these different websites do to us, what these different apps do to us, and so on, then that becomes so much more beautiful. Then I'm there with them in the role of another learner rather than a governor. Whom do you want around you? Somebody who governs you or who learns? Even learning about what is addiction, what makes me get attracted to it, what else can I do, how else it's a beautiful journey. So if we jump in with the child rather than kind of govern the child from our worries and concerns, I think all the things make a lot of difference. So we have a lot of fun here in terms of even these gadgets, and we have all kinds of discussions, debates, this, that. But yes, as Dviji points out, when we are all together, there is so many things to do. Then the gadget becomes only one thing to do. Not that, so children are free to bring their gadgets from home or use the gadgets available here. We have a tab, we have laptops. So we are nowhere saying, no, don't use gadgets. We are saying, use it. Think about what do you want from your life today, and then go ahead and do it. And we are all there to pull each other. Another child will come, hey, Da, what are you playing? Da, come, let's fly kite. And 5 minutes later, you will see both of them gone to fly kites, because we can fly kites, and that's perfectly amazing as doing maths. Right? But if we keep telling the child, now abhi chodo ye, do maths, then I don't know how I'm interested.
I couldn't disagree. The kids are also actually running out of options. So to fill that void also, yeah, I'm sure, they have options with them these days.
Yeah.
So that's also. So now to Arohi, wherever is it only within India we can be connected, or across global also? If we relocate it, we can stay connected. How does it?
Yeah, you can be connected from anywhere. We do have parents from UAE and all. We had one or two parents from US, but the time difference is little too logistically demanding. But we do have parents from other countries also as part of the community. So it doesn't matter wherever you are till you can connect.
Okay.
So Abhishek, I don't know whether we answered your question. Both of us.
I mean, I think what I liked what Vijay was mentioning about is that it's not about just guiding them towards something and giving our thought to it, but also to make them understand what they're leading to, right? I mean, in their own words, in their own means, instead of enforcing a thought around, because that's what we both do usually. And maybe, most of the parents, we have a certain perspective towards a problem,
Yeah.
and we try to just bounce across that thought. It's going to, you don't know what you're doing, you're getting addicted, and we will come up with this really weird videos where people are getting psychedelic in their thoughts and movements and all, and saying that, look at this kid, what has happened to him because he's been playing games and all. So it's a very blunt approach is what I would say. And I think what, as you keep saying that we all learn, what I'll be probably learning from this whole community is how to, in a very subtle way, understand each other to discover what is right or wrong. Maybe we are wrong, maybe they are wrong.
And sometimes not so subtle. As in, children can be quite brutal. But also, Abhishek, we have to recognize that most of us are working on computers, on devices, and the children see that.
Yeah.
When I'm communicating, I'm using my mobile, I'm using my laptop. And why would I expect my child to do something different? They may not have the same communications that we do or the same tasks that we do, but they would see what we are doing and want to do the same things themselves. So in some sense, it's also in which, the way I see it is that you do something differently and they will also start doing those different things. We were on a road trip just yesterday, we came back and we were at a restaurant where they had put a carom board there and there were a bunch of kids all hunkered over a mobile. And, my wife and I started playing carom. And then she got tired and she went off. And I called one of those boys over and said, hey, come play with me. And initially they were like, you go. And then finally one kid came. And within 10 minutes, they were all around the table. And then they figured out that each one will take one turn against uncle and defeat uncle. They were all looking into a mobile. And the beautiful thing was, after they started playing this, they were like, uncle, you go, we will play. And of course, they gave up on that and they went away and started playing outdoors. It was a beautiful day. But the point is that then we all need pushers and pulls. It's not just children. And that table being there was the pull for us to not, sit down and wait for watching something on the mobile or chit-chatting. And then we were able to pull the kids out of their comfort zone and into this, and so we all do this as a part of a community as well. That like Ratnesh was mentioning, firing a stove or setting up an antenna or fixing some wires or making some stand or stuff, lots of things. So it's not just about the child, it's also about us doing things and pulling ourselves out. Initially, I would carry my laptop when I went to Arohi. Nowadays, I'm like, no point. I'll have too many things to do. I still do, but I never open it. Most of the time, it just stays in the bag.
I totally reflect your thought because, my son, he would have exercise where he has to write down things, right? And he looks at us, he looks at my wife, he looks at me and says, where do we need to write? I just need to write. So why are you asking to have a good handwriting and all that?
Absolutely. You've killed it, Abhishek.
So they are looking at us for sure.
I remember
writing has become redundant now. We don't rarely anybody writes in terms of physically writing.
He does come back with questions like, why do I need to do this? And okay, I understand why I need to do this and all. I think between this whole academic requirements, we are missing out to understand what their liking or dislike is. So I don't know how, but I probably need to speak with Ratnesh and Vijay individually because it's going to be a much longer conversation to figure out what's going where.
In fact, today he was telling, why do I need to learn parts of a leaf? Where will I put this in future? Where am I going to associate with it? Why should I learn these things? You tell me. You give me an answer, why should I do that? So what do you tell him at that time? Where will you use this part of leaf? For example.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Even if I did learn parts of leave, I no more remember them. So even if I have to use it now, I have to relearn it again because I've forgotten, because it was meaningless at that time.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, please go ahead.
No, I was telling, forget about parts of the leave. I mean, I don't utilize what I learned in my computer science engineering in my job. After 4 years of struggling, sorry, struggling and working hard towards it, and scoring those fancy numbers. When I got into the corporate world, I was like, what did I learn and what am I doing? And I have like electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, everybody doing the same thing of coding and doing, and I was just wondering, what was I doing for the last 4 years, struggling day in, day out kind of thing. So I think it reflects with the kids as well.
Yeah. So the worst is that the children are not given a purpose to learn.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I think this, or even adults, the purpose behind doing these things. And what you want to learn is also coming from the question, the whole idea of what is the purpose of learning?
Yeah.
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's something that. So I also want to understand something that which I am facing as a parent also. This whole thing of and as a family member, that when children are their own things of what they want to do. Thankfully, the next generation, we've been slightly more conscious about the fact that you can choose what you want. So when they are choosing what they want to do, this whole idea of isolation is coming in, and I especially see it in the family, that everybody is in their pockets doing what they are doing. And then the community part of it, or so in our times, what we used to see, especially me coming from a joint family setup, we used to figure out a lot of things ourselves according to the others. Now what's happening is that all of us have our own timings, and there is so much of isolation that's coming in, individualism coming in, that how do we create this collaboration, cooperation in a family system, or even in a community? That's one of the struggles that I have as a mother, as a this.
So for us, I can only say for us, that doesn't happen because it's automatically a community. And when there is community, there's automatically a lot of energy which flows back and forth. The rivers meet, diverge all the time. So, yeah, meaning, I know what you're talking about. I only know it. I'm not experiencing it for the last so many years. And which is why I keep saying I'm really blessed with such a beautiful community with so many different families, and it's just been so wonderful.
Yeah. I'm unmuted. So, Tripti, I think it's also important to recognize in the case of Arohi, the Arohi Open Learning Community, it's a self-selected group. We are seeking a community. So just the same way that you feel that the sense of community needs to be stronger, we are all people who are seeking a community of open learners. Unlike a joint family where we are bound by blood and whatever else, lack of money for rent and stuff like that, which we have all gone through. It's open learning in Arohi is a community activity. Like Ratnesh shared, it's not that one person is teaching and one person is receiving. It's that we are all exchanging. And that's what a community is, that there is always ongoing transactions which bind us together. The interconnectedness that rivers bring into landscapes, that there's always a flow, there's always exchange. And that's what keeps the community together. So in fact, within Arohi, as we go through all these activities, one of our motivations is how do we keep the flow going? It's not how do we connect this person to that person. It's about how do we make sure that things are moving. What are things? Anything that everybody is pouring into the river, right? So it's not just one thing that, oh, how do I get my child to realize this? No, I mean, it's about how do we get all of us to interact? How do we see that, these things are happening? How do we create that surface, that geography where the river will flow? Rather than, build dams and try to harness everything through the dams. There are places for dams and there are places for rivers to flow. So, which place is best for what is decided by the individual. Just the same way that we decide, where do I want to be, respectful and obedient, and where do I want to be carefree and independent, right? So stuff like that happens very naturally within the Arohi open learning community, because we are all coming here seeking that kind of a relation.
Yeah, and to add to that, that's also a kind of a, you can also say it's also a conscious agenda of the community, right? That yeah, we while we support, do things together, we also give enough space for each individual to have their own, let's say, time, right? And even physical space and so on and so forth. So it's not like there's anything wrong with being individual, right? But it's, if you create a space where there is space for individual and time for an individual, as well as there's space and time and opportunities for doing things together, just to give you a simple example. So we do some kind of a fitness in the morning, right? Now there is a fitness group which does that, which incidentally is run by two 11-year-olds. They are very energetic 11-year-olds, fitness club runners. Okay, but not everybody joins them. Okay, some people join them, but some people say, no, I want to do my own yoga, or I'll go for a walk, or I want to sleep. That's my fitness for today, right? And that's all right. Right? They will keep on still reminding people, come for fitness, come for fitness. Today we are doing this workout. Today we are doing that workout. But not everybody every time will listen to them. So what I'm trying to give an example is, yeah, both the things are happening. In an individual who wants to do just his or her own thing at 7 in the morning is okay with that. While this group is also trying to, this two 11-year-olds are also trying to bring more people together, because they believe when we do these workouts and they bring all kinds of things, music, dance, jumping around, all kinds of crazy stuff. For them, the group is the fun. They always keep saying, when there are more people, we enjoy more. So you get the sense. So it just happens very. So which individual is joining when or not joining is purely their choice. In fact, this week there was a family which came over, and their daughter was 10 years old. And she said, I will come, but I will not do a single thing. So she just sat through 1 hour of fitness session where she was just watching us and laughing with us and doing this, but she did not move a single muscle other than her mouth muscles. And it was absolutely fine with all of us. Not even a single person raised an eyebrow as to why are you not doing it? Because we want to first respect her choice of not doing anything and just watching us and laughing with us. What better treat we can get than some bubbly person just laughing with us while we are all huffing and puffing in that workout. So I hope you get the sense of how each one has its own individuality, and yet there is a space to mingle and do things together. It's very dynamic. It may not happen the next day like that, and that's the beauty of it. There is no two similar days. So when people ask me, how does a typical day go? I say, oops, I haven't seen a typical day till now. Every day is so new, different, and so vibrant. And that's the beauty of life. Yeah.
I think we can pause here for today. It's 6:30.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, today has been a very engaging session, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a good reminder, Viji. Thanks. Yeah. So we are around 6:30. So that's a good time for us to pause. We have been interacting for about an hour and a half. But we meet every Saturday. So that's first invitation, that you can join in any Saturday and continue these discussions. We also have recording of all our past interactions. So that's about some 70, 80 recordings over the last, so many Saturdays over the last couple of years. So that's lots and lots of people whom you want to listen to. And then the third one is obviously the campus, where you can come and experience it. When you come here, we won't talk too much about. If you say, Ratnesh, I want to talk about open learning, I say no, let's play a game rather than that, right? Because that's more of an experience rather than talking, because we have this forum for talking, right? So we can always talk here. So yeah.
Weekends you're closed, right? Weekends you're closed.
Yeah, we can see typically the children and families who are located nearby, like Bangalore and stuff like that. So they go back to their homes and again come back on Monday. The people who stay far off, they stay here on the weekend, and including me and my family stays here on the weekend. And then we party on the weekend. Well, the party continues, right? And yeah, so in that sense, it's off on weekends. But the online community still works through Saturdays and sometimes even Sundays, depending on what the community decides. So all that is very dynamic. But the campus takes a little pause on Saturday, Sunday, so that we get little time to, the whole system needs little time to rest and then come back in action on Monday. And also that gives valuable time for families to go back to their other families. Let's say a child has come here leaving, or a father and a child has come, left mother at home because she's working somewhere. So then, we don't want the mother to feel bad. So the family goes or the other way around, whichever way. But it's all very informal. It's all very, very chaotic, yet very, very interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we allowed to join your weekend party?
Yeah,
not really.
No, join the weekday parties.
Yes.
I was about to say, the party is not just over the weekends at Arohi. The Arohi party is more during the week. I mean, you should see the kind of fun the guys. I mean, after a point, the kids will be like, I have to go now. Why are you calling me now?
So yeah, weekends, no, as a guest, no, but once you are a regular part of the community, yes, then you can come any weekend. There is no yes or no. But yeah, as a guest, first come, experience during the week, because that's when most of the people are here. Weekend, like this weekend, it's just me and my wife here, nobody else, just two of us, right? So obviously there's no party in that sense. We are actually chilled out. So yeah, weekends, no. Weekdays, come, stay with us for a week. If you are working, if you can work from home kind of thing, few hours you can work here. So that's not a constraint. There is internet here. You can bring your device. Some child may come, uncle, you are too much on device, but that you have to figure out with that child. So you can do your work also. But I must warn you, you will be so tempted to leave your work, cancel your meetings, and join all the rest of what the gang is doing. So with that statutory warning, you're most welcome to bring work also here and do rest of the time, be part of the community.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, let's pause here. Thank you very much.
Just a quick thing. When you're coming to campus, please register online. Don't just Google map it and then land up on campus, because we do have a certain procedure that we follow, like Ratnesh was mentioning earlier, because we are living through a pandemic. We are not sure if we have come out of it yet. We have certain precautions that we ask every visiting family to take. And we also would like you to understand certain things about how the campus works in terms of safety and in terms of what we do, when we do, how we do. So just to get clued into the thing, it's just an orientation session that we have once a week, Ratnesh?
Yeah, once a week. And to visit, it's only a stay visit right now. Just visiting is not available. So you have to stay the week, and you have to minimum register a week in advance. So like today, you can't register for this Monday. It has to be for the subsequent Monday and so on. So there is a calendar on the website. I've already put the links. I'm putting again. There's a calendar where you can see which weeks are available, which week is a family week, which week is a closed week because of some holidays or something. And then you can plan your thing. And there's a form there itself. You can register.
Okay.
So is there any minimum time that we got to stay there? Something like that?
Yeah, right now it's a week. So Monday to Friday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, to be very frank, if you're coming seriously looking, being part of the community at campus, then it is recommended that at least spend 5 days. Then 1 or 2 days is too less. By the time the 2 or 3 third day, to you get your teeth sinked in, kind of. Then you start really getting it, because it's such a different space. So first couple of days, you will be lost, right? So it's important that you are here for the whole week, so that you get, once you have started coming here, then in a week, if you just want to come for a day or 2 days, that's a different thing. So the regular families like Dwiji, if he wants to come just for a day, he doesn't even need, he just informs us in our Discord platform saying, I'm coming for 1 day. So that is definitely absolutely fine. But that's only for the regular members, because they have already know what it is, and they are then open to come and go whenever. But as a guest,
light on kar lo, Ratnesh.
No, I'm outside. Sorry, there's no light here. The sun is saying bye-bye.
Yeah, enough, go now.
Go now. So yeah, so recommended that you come from Monday to Friday, soak in this place. Okay. What we can definitely guarantee you will tire you by the end of the day. There will be so much action. You will say, Abhi, I want to sleep. Right? That's one thing. And children will not let you sleep. Let's play Mafia. Let's play this. Let's play that. There's so many games that happen in the night. You will say, Abhi, please let me go to sleep.
The party goes on.
The party goes on. Yes.
Great. Okay, I need to step out. You guys continue.
All of us. No. All of us are shutting down now. Thanks, Vijay, for pointing.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice conversation,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir. Thank you, Mr. Vijay.